Please come in.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Have a seat.
Thank you, sir.
Well, Prince Arshdeep Singh.
Right, sir.
Is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Earlier it was Ashwander.
No, sir. It has always been Arshdeep Singh. Actually,
You said you have changed your name.
yes, sir. This surname has been added.
Okay.
Earlier, my name was Prince Arshdeep Singh. Now, my name has been Prince Arshdeep Singh Vandar.
Okay, Wonder.
Yes,
Okay. That's what you have mentioned in your email address.
sir. Right, sir. Right, sir.
Prince Harsh Wonder.
Right, sir.
Okay. Now, we know everything that you have mentioned here about yourself.
Right, sir.
We would like to hear something from you about yourself which is not mentioned here. That is your personality, your strengths and weaknesses in short.
So my name is Prince Arshdeep Singh. My strengths in this particular case would be that I think that I am a good speaker. The second would be that I am diligent. The third, I think that I also possess integrity. Insofar as my weaknesses are concerned, sir, I think that first of all, I do not have the aptitude or the capacity for sports, which I believe is one of my biggest weaknesses. The second would be that in my personal sphere of life, since I was the only kid, I have faced difficulty in adjusting with people like my friends or my relatives in my personal sphere of life. That is my weakness.
Okay. Now, but you're a good speaker, so that's why you would be an asset for legal field.
Right.
So why do you want to join this? You can be another Kapil Sibal or another Fulka.
Thank you, sir. Sir, actually, the reason for joining the civil services or my interest towards civil services was because I was more inclined towards the executive sphere of the government, and which I believe to be the most diverse among the three organs of the government. And I believe that the civil services is the cornerstone of the executive machinery, which would allow me to have a more diversified and a more professional growth opportunities with a lot of learning experience as well. Whereas in the field of law, since I was trained in the adversarial sphere of law, I believe that it is largely limited to interpretation
Right,
of law.
you are right. You are right that it will give you the diversified field to act in. But that is only with the IAS or IPS. If you are posted as an income tax deputy commissioner, probably most of the time people won't even see you in the digitized world of today. Or if you are, say, in railway management services, what diversification will be there?
Sir, I agree that the IAS and the IPS are the most diverse among the civil services. But, sir, if I might give one example with your permission, for example, in the Indian Revenue Services as well, to my knowledge, there are different fields. For example, the Department of Economic Affairs is one, Economic Offences Wing is the other, or the Narcotics Control Bureau also employs the revenue services. The enforcement directorate is composed of the revenue services. So in that sense, sir, I believe that it is my humble opinion that diversification does exist, but it might vary from one service to the other.
Okay. You are from Muktasar Sahib.
Sir, I was born in Shri Muktasar
You were
Sahib.
born there.
Yes, sir.
What is importance of Muktasar Sahib?
Sir, I think the biggest important point about Shri Muktasar Sahib is that it was the place where the last battle by Shri Guru Gobind Singh Ji, the 10th Guru, was fought. At that point of time, it was known as Khidrana, the Tab. So at that point of time, the 46 who had renounced Guru Gobind Singh Ji that you are not our Guru anymore, they came back and they fought for the Guru, laying down their lives.
Okay. Now I find your mother is science mistress in government of Punjab.
Right, sir.
What is this science mistress? I am a little bit confused.
Yes, sir.
She's a teacher.
Yes, sir. Sir, in the Punjab State Education Board nomenclature, for the male, the word that is used is master. And for the female, then they use the mistress.
Okay.
Official
Sorry.
designation.
And Farid Court, is it a name of Baba Farid?
Yes, sir.
Can you recite any words of Baba Farid?
Yes, sir. Sir, two lines that if I may. फरीदा जे तू अकल लतीफ ता काले लेख ना लेख काले मेंढे कपड़े काला मेंढा वेस औगण भरिया मैं फिरां लोक कहण दरवेश.
What does it mean in short?
Sir, it means that Baba Farid is talking to himself in this particular verse, and he is saying that if you are an intelligent guy, then you should not be writing Kale Lekh. Kale Lekh means for someone else, you should not be saying something bad if you are an intelligent and a wise man. And then he says that I am full of weaknesses, but people are saying that I am Darwish. That is
Okay. Now, your father is retired. He retired as assistant AO. That is, AO is
accounts officer.
accounts officer. So he was not a lawyer.
Sir,
He is now a lawyer.
he is now a
after
lawyer.
retiring.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now, your hobbies are listening to Punjabi music, spending time with parents. The second one is quite good hobby, and first one too is listening to Punjabi music. Which type of Punjabi music you listen? Folk music, or now rappers and Basha and all that?
Sir, although I listen to all kinds of music, but largely my preference is folk music. Maybe because I was brought up in that kind of atmosphere. So folk is my more favorite.
Okay. Yesterday, America, there was a big development in Middle East because of American action. What was that?
Sir, I'm sorry, I've not been well versed with the news of the last few days. But if the honorable board member might tell me, then I might be able to analyze it.
Okay, no problem. Any knowledge about latest development in Maldives?
Yes, sir. Sir, regarding the Maldives, in the last couple of weeks or in the last couple of months, what has been happening is that the government of Maldives has adopted a kind of adverse position with respect to India. And in the last couple of days, what has happened is that a number of parliamentarians, they are protesting against the government. And there were talks of passing a no confidence motion against the now the current president, Mr. Mohammad Muizu.
And there was a Maldivian delegation in Delhi who had discussions with their Indian counterpart. What was the outcome of the discussions?
Sir, if I correctly recall in this particular case, although sir, I'm not sure. So, with your permission, if I can take a logical guess. So, sir, that delegation was with respect to the immediate withdrawal of the Indian troops who have been stationed in Maldives. So, however, sir, I'm not sure about the exact outcome as to what happened after that.
But now Maldives has issued a statement saying this delegation has agreed that the crew and assisting staff for one helicopter will be withdrawn by March 30 and the rest by June 30. Please.
Okay, thank you.
Arshdeep,
Yes, sir.
you see, we change the names of cities here and there. Allahabad to Prayagraj. Many cities' names have been changed. But on the ground, nothing changes. It remains the same. What has changed after you changed your name? And why did you change your name? By adding wonder that shows your caste or something. What has changed in you after you changed your name?
So the reason for my change of name was actually I was to apply for the passport. So in that particular case, they were asking that the surname be added in that particular case. So that is why Vandar was added. Before that, I was not using this particular surname of mine. My name was only Prince Arshdeep Singh. However, sir, I have not observed any major change with respect to my own behavior, my own understanding of myself, or people's perception of myself in that particular case.
Okay. What does Prince indicate?
So with respect to the name, if I might clarify.
With respect to name, you have a Prince name
Yes.
before. It's a little unusual that people keep the name Prince. What does it indicate?
Sir, I did inquire from my family as to why my name was given as Prince Arshdeep Singh and not only Arshdeep Singh. So then they revealed that my given name was Arshdeep. Prince was my nickname. But while I was being enrolled into the school, they added Prince. And the only reason that they told me was that they wanted it to sound a little bit fancy. Maybe because my parents, they were from rural background, so an English name fascinated them.
You respect them. Very good. Uh, you are from law. You have studied law, right?
Yes, sir.
Which is the first written law?
Sir, I would say Magna Carta would be the first written law in 1215.
Very good. You are from Sikh community, right?
Yes.
Tell me 5 qualities of Sikhs which are different from others.
Sir, with your permission, I would like to take 10 seconds to...
Please, all right. All right.
Yes, sir. So the first quality that comes to my mind is the appearance itself. The practicing Sikhs and the baptized Sikhs, as they're known as.
Yes, that
they
is
have-
one.
that is first. The second quality would be the idea of humility along with the idea of courage and bravery. They go in consonance with each other in the Sikh community. The third quality would be that maybe it is because of their religion itself. The idea of sharing is very important with respect to the Sikhs, as was ordained by the first Sikh Guru. The fourth quality could be, sir, one negative if I...
No negative. You don't have negative quality.
Oh,
The biggest quality is service.
service. Right. Thank you, sir.
Service. Okay. Okay. Service. You are a lawyer.
Right, sir.
You have studied law.
Yes, sir.
You are a lawyer. Your father has been a lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Now, if you do something, there's a goal, you want to reach that goal. The goal is important, or the means are important, or both are important in the field of law. You have to save your client. That's the goal.
Yes.
Now, what is important
Sir,
in that context?
Sir, if I have to choose between the two, then I would say that means is important. But in general context, I would say that both would also be important.
In case of law, means are important.
Yes, sir.
No client will win the case if means are, because he has committed a crime, he has come to you, please save me. That's a job,
Right, sir.
and you have to save him
Right.
by whatever means. Telling lie to the court, creating all false documents, telling false stories to the court. The goal is important, save the client.
Sir,
If you apply the correct means, go and tell the court in the first instance, yes sir, my client has committed murder, finish. Will any client win the case?
sir, if with your permission, if I can explain my stance on this. Sir, regarding the means, what I meant to say is that in the advocate's ethics book, the advocate must be willing to provide the best representation that he can provide to the client. But that cannot be done by bending the rules. And the Bar Council of India rules and regulations and the Advocates Act is also clear on this. The job of the advocate is to go to the court and to tell the court that whatever accusations are leveled against, just say for example, my own client, those accusations do not stand the test of the circumstantial evidence read with the written letter of law. So that is the interpretation that is to be done. For doing that, the facts as they are to be interpreted differently. The evidence has to be interpreted differently. But if the evidence is being forged or the witnesses, etc., they are being bought, then that is also unethical from the advocate's point of view.
Is that being done in law?
Sorry, sir?
Is that being done in law? Lawyers do that? Or they create false documents, false evidence, false stories, somehow protect the client.
Sir, I would...
Somehow.
Sir, I would partly agree with the statement.
So partly goals important.
Sir, in my humble opinion, some of the advocates, they do that, and I believe that that is an unethical conduct. Whenever that kind of conduct is that comes to light,
Okay.
then the bar council even suspends the license.
Okay. Tell me something about Baba Farid. He's a very revered person in that area. Some 2 or 3 teachings of great Baba Farid.
Sir, Baba Sheikh Faridji, he was, his full name was Fariduddin Shakargan. He came from Pak Patan area of Pakistan, and then he stayed in this part of the country. For me, the way I understand, the biggest contribution was that he is known to be the first poet in Punjabi literature. In Shahmukhi, he wrote it. Later on, Gurmukhi was adopted. The other teachings regarding Baba Farid was that he believed that the relationship with God, because he was from the Islamic background, so he believed the relationship with the God should be personalized. It should not be implemented through any institution. An institution is not required. One's relation with God is personal. So that is the second teaching that I have, I believe. The third teaching was with respect to normal caring of the weak people, saving less for oneself and giving more back to the society.
Thank you.
Yes. So you have a law background, right?
Yes,
so tell me, name of 5 important cases, the most important cases in the last 5 years where the Supreme Court of India has given judgment.
Sir, should I be going in chronological order or?
In any order.
Okay, sir. Going by the latest cases, one would be the reference to Article 370 and the related matters. The second one would be the Supriyo Chakrabarti versus Union of India, which was regarding the LGBTQIA plus marriage rights. The third would be the Ex versus Principal Secretary of Health, which was regarding the interpretation of the Medical Termination of the Pregnancy Act of 1971 and the recent amendments thereunder. The fourth in this could be the Vijay Madan Lal Chaudhary versus Union of India, which interpreted the powers of the Enforcement Directorate and the recent amendments that were made thereunder. The fifth that I can recall right now is J.R. Thakur, sir, it was regarding the appointment of the chief election commissioners and the other election commissioners. I think I'm forgetting the petitioner in that particular matter, sir. These were the 5 that I can recall.
Okay. So will you not let's say like categorize the Ram Janmabhoomi related case to be one of the important cases that the Supreme Court of India has decided?
Sir, if I, in my humble opinion, that particular matter was decided in 2017 or so. Since the honorable board member asked me in the last 5 years, so I felt that it was not falling within that chronological period, and henceforth I did not name it.
All right. So what is the debate between pro-life versus pro-choice?
Sir, to my understanding, that debate stems essentially from the United States Supreme Court order, which overturned the Roe versus Wade judgment. So in that particular, the Roe versus Wade provided the termination rights, the fetus termination rights to the women. However, now that has been overturned, and there has also been a debate and some controversy surrounding it, because many of the women foundations, they believe that they should be pro-choice, that whether or not the fetus should be terminated should be the sole choice of the woman who is rearing that particular fetus. But there are other people who believe that once the zygote has been formed, I'm sorry, sir, I'm not very well versed with the scientific terms regarding the same. Then it is life. So no one else should have the right to decide it. Even the woman who is rearing that womb, rearing that particular baby within her womb.
All right. So have you heard about Colombo Security Conclave?
Yes, sir, I must admit I have heard it, but I'm not very well versed with it.
So which countries are member of the Colombo Security Conclave?
Sir, India, Sri Lanka, Maldives, Mauritius. Sir, I'm sorry, these are the 4 countries that I can recall.
All right. So, who invented the PIL in India?
Sir, the Honorable then Justice P.N. Bhagwati ji is credited as being the inventor of the public interest litigation.
Okay. Like, was there anything new done to PIL so that it becomes more effective for the judiciary?
Sir, in my humble opinion, the public interest litigation is different because it relaxes the rule of the locus standi. So people who are themselves unable to appear in the court, or the public spirited citizens, now they have an avenue of approaching the courts, even if they do not, even if they are not directly affected by the results of that particular matter. So that is the public interest litigation. Insofar as how the intervention has been done by the Honorable Supreme Court, then time to time the locus standi rule has been further relaxed. For example, in Sunil Batra versus Delhi administration, even a postcard was treated as a public interest litigation, and then the Honorable Supreme Court went ahead to legislate with respect to the prisoner rights. So that is the intervention which has been done.
All right. So tell me three differences between International Court of Justice and International Criminal Court.
So, the International Court of Justice has been established by the Charter of the United Nations only, from Article 94 to 95. I think these are the main articles. While the International Criminal Court is a creation of a statute which is known as the Rome Statute in 1998. The second is that the International Criminal Court deals essentially with the individuals who violate the international law with respect to various things. For example, genocide is one, mass killings is the other. So that is the second part. The third is but the International Court of Justice largely deals with the interpretation of the United Nations or the other treaties. For example, United Nations Convention on the Law of Seas. That is one. There are other treaties as well. For example, the Genocide Convention recently was in the news. That is also decided by the International Court of Justice. The third difference would be that the International Court of Justice per se, its decisions are binding on every party who may or may not be party to the United Nations as well. While the International Criminal Court, except in a few restricted cases, it is binding only between the parties who are the parties to the statute.
All right. So recently there has been a presidential election in Argentina. Why that election is different as compared to other elections? Any significant deviation that you can see?
Sir, I'm sorry, I'm not well versed with the election process of Argentina, but one statement that was made, if with your permission, I can recall
Yes.
Sir, it was regarding the dollarization of the Argentinian economy, which the Honorable President of Argentina said that we are going to adopt the dollar for Argentina, and their local currency, that is to be done away with. That is what I can recall, sir.
So, what do you understand by libertarianism?
Sir, I'm sorry, I'm not very well versed with the exact.
So, have you heard about lithium triangle?
Yes.
So, which countries are part of lithium triangle?
Bolivia, Chile, and the third one, I believe, is Argentina itself, sir.
All right. So,
thank you, sir.
Hello, Prince.
Hello, sir.
So, why you made passport? Were you planning to go somewhere?
Sir, at that point of time, in 2013, when we made the passport, my family was going to visit some of our relatives in Canada.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, Prince, just tell me why there is a difference in approach of the Indian government on the allegations of extraterritorial killings in Canada and USA.
Sir, in my humble opinion, the difference stems from the way the approach that has been adopted by these two different nations. For example, in the case of Canada, the allegations that were made about the Indian intelligence agencies, they were made in a very public manner. and in a, if I might use the word, that partly irresponsible manner as well, because very high-ranking officers of the research and analysis wing, they were publicly named. So that was one of the reasons why the Indian government also was forced to react in that sense. However, in the case of USA, the response has been much discreet. While the countries, they have been public about the fact that the allegations there are, and Indian side has acknowledged it, but a lot of these meetings, etc., they are taking place behind the curtains, and henceforth the approach is different, sir.
Okay, so do you think that Khalistan is a Canadian phenomena, or there is some semblance of it in India also?
Sorry, sir. Semblance?
Khalistan is an only Canadian phenomena, or the traces of something can be found in India also?
Yes, sir. So, if we look at the historical aspect of Khalistan, then yes, there were a number of Sikh organizations in India as well, after partition, even before partition, who were willing to have a separate Sikh homeland at the time of the partition of the country. And then this resentment kept on brewing up for a very long period of time. But of late, if we look in the recent context, then Khalistan has largely become a foreign-based phenomenon. There is, in my personal opinion, there is no traction in Punjab with respect to the same. But yes, there are some extraterritorial people who are involved in this aspect.
Largely in the drug trades, if we can guess that, isn't it?
Sir, yes, sir, I do agree with it, that this drug trade itself and the organized crime or the extremist activities, they have formed a nexus. And this is also the report of the Punjab police in this present regard, that the drugs, etc., that are coming from our western neighbors, they are not only financing their own, the western neighbors' discrete policies, but they are also financing the organized crime in the state. That money is also going to some extremist activities based abroad, unfortunately, and this has become an entire nexus that has to be taken down.
So, what are the reasons because of which drug has become, of late, has become so much popular in Punjab as compared to other Indian state?
Sir, the first I would say is the proximity to the Golden Crescent, which is one of the major drug manufacturing zones comprising Pakistan, Iran, and Afghanistan. So, Punjab lies on that route. Punjab serves as a gateway for these people from where the drugs go otherwise. The second is that the drug peddlers and the traders, I believe they found a huge market in Punjab as well, because Punjab at the time of Green Revolution was one of the most prosperous states. So the people over here, they got hooked onto drugs. The third reason would be in the present day and age, the agrarian distress is also one of the important phenomenon. The agrarian distress, on the one hand, has lowered the incomes of the Punjabi rural population, and on the other hand, the unemployment, predominantly because there is lack of industrialization and the lack of private sector participation, the distress has also forced the youth to unfortunately get hooked onto drugs.
And what about the use of drugs in popular culture, particularly in Punjabi rap?
Yes, sir, with respect to the Punjabi rap, the phenomenon of use of drugs, if you look at it, in Punjabi culture, one thing that was done, in my humble opinion, was that the liquor itself was glorified earlier. Even in the folk music, etc., that was something that was done. With respect to the use of synthetic drugs, which is glorified in Punjabi rap, that in my humble opinion is largely foreign-based phenomenon, because the rap music, etc., what has happened is that there is fusion of culture in West with the Punjabi culture. So there, unfortunately, a lot of synthetic drugs are used. From there, it is being picked up. It does not reflect the ground situation in Punjab, I believe.
Okay. So, Princedeep, coming to your law optional, what principle of law justifies Israel aggression in the hospital?
Sir, to my mind, the principle of law that Israel might use to justify its actions would be the right of self-defense, which is enshrined under Article 41 of the United Nations Charter. However, sir, as per my understanding goes, the right of self-defense is limited and is to be used proportionally. So in this particular case, like the attack on the hospital, it is also guided by the Genocide Convention and the 4 Geneva Conventions. With respect to the attack on civilians, I believe it is Geneva Convention number 4. So that has to be interpreted in that light only. Sir.
Okay. So, can you sing a song in the Punjabi folk?
Sir, I can recite one song, but sir, if I sing, I am afraid the board members might not feel very comfortable.
No problem. We are not singers ourselves. So just 2, 3, 4 lines maximum will do.
Okay, sir. One song that is one of my favorite songs is sung by Shri Gurdas Man ji. It is named as Challa. So, with your permission, if I can recite. छल्ला बीरियो बूरे वे वतन माहिदा दूरे वे जाना पहले पूरे वे गल सुन छल्लिया टोला वे कादा लाया चोरा.
And what does it mean?
Sir, this particular song Challa is a reflection of the recitals by sir, I'm not aware about the English use of the word Malla, one who tows the boat across rivers. So his name was Jalla. So he lost his son in Chenab River at one point of time. So he used to sing these kind of songs. What this particular verses they mean is that Beri oi Bore means that he has to move across the river at the first light of the day. And Vatan Mahida Dure, that where we have to reach, that is very far away. So Jana Pele hi Pure. So that means that we have to leave when the first tide subsides, right at that point of time. And Galsun Challaya Chora, Challa was his son who was drowned in that particular river. So he says that he's referring to Challa, that Galsun Challaya Tola Vikada Lai Chora, that means that don't be angry with me because I sent you to the river and you drowned. That I'm just your poor father.
Okay. One question, Arshdeep, is that suppose you are a lawyer and someone like Nirav Modi is your client. So, naturally, Nirav Modi and you are under the attorney-client privilege. And suppose some organization wants the file, the transactional nature of Nirav Modi account. So, would you give this statement to the organization? When it is particularly when it is about national security?
Sir, my humble understanding of the attorney-client privilege is that I am not under any compulsion to show any kind of file with, concerning my client to any other organization. It may be a government organization or any otherwise, that I'm not allowed to. But if there are any special laws which provide that you may be an attorney-client privilege or the attorney-client privilege may be breached in that particular case, then I'll be bound to show that particular transactional file.
Okay. Thank you, Prince.
One small, very small question. Quickly tell the difference between courts of law and courts of justice.
Sir, if with your permission, I can take a logical guess on.
Yeah, take.
Sir, the courts of law mean such courts or the such adjudicatory bodies that are bound by the letter of the law. But the courts of justice is, to my mind, it is a larger, more diversified concept where the main purpose is to grant justice and not only stick to the letter of the law.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Arshdeep.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.